Hi, this is Matt Sweetwood, president of Unique Photo, here again for our live UEventLive GoPro event this afternoon. We have with us today Vince Criscenzo of GoPro. How are you?
Doing well. Big day.
Big day today, right?
Sure.
So today we're going to preview the new GoPro HERO4 cameras, right? And we have I would call this an almost exclusive, right? We're really one of the first people to be able to demo these cameras out there.
Yeah, there's
right?
not too many people that have put one of those in their hand yet.
What I really like is, for us, we have a big camera store here in New Jersey, and it's really, really important for the industry to have new products released, right? Because that generates interest in what goes on in the industry, and to see GoPro, which is really, the leader in video right now, pushing the envelope is really a very, very good thing. So I'm really excited about these cameras today. Let's start to walk. Let's first hold them up a little bit, right? So we have right here, this is the new GoPro HERO4 Black, and that's the silver.
Right.
Right. We'll sort of let everybody take a good look at them. Right. Similar form factor. We have up here in the stand. We actually have the GoPro 3. And so you can see that the size is actually relatively the same. The interesting thing that we'll start with, of course, is that the GoPro HERO4 Silver,
yep,
right, has a LCD display built in, right? So we're going to release the big thing right away, right?
Right. The LCD touch is probably the biggest
thing, right? The touch, right? And you can see me touching it, right? It's actually changing the video mode when you give it a double touch like that, and we can see it's actually playing right now. That's really, really cool. Let's talk a little bit about some of the new features in the camera, right? So right off the bat, let's talk 4K, right?
Okay.
Right? So tell me a little bit about the 4K in each of the cameras.
Well, both cameras will do 4K. The silver basically has the same functionality that the old black had.
That's right.
But it adds the LCD touch.
Right, so we're going to say the silver is the new black, right? Right?
Until we get to the black.
Right, until we get to,
right.
Well, we can say that for about like
right.
30 seconds, right?
Right.
So the silver, it has very similar video features to the black from the Hero 3, right? But it's sitting there with this really gorgeous and very responsive, by the way. I was really surprised how really responsive that LCD display, doing 4K, and the frame rate is up to on the silver model.
On the silver, it's 15
frames per second.
Right.
Correct.
When you get into the black, then you get into the real 4K functionality, and somebody who wants to really shoot in 4K, that's really the camera they should have.
Let's talk a little bit about the silver first, because let's move the black away. We'll talk a little bit about the silver unit. I was just on the racetrack yesterday with my car, and I can't even tell you how much I would have liked to have had this display on the back of the camera like that. To me, that really is a wonderful thing. And like I was saying, I don't know if we can see in here, but right now it's in 1080p. 30 frames second wide. If I just tap it, right, it changes to 1080p, 30 frames in medium width, right? Tap it again, and it goes through the video modes. I think
it's basically just changing your field of view by doing that tap, so you can see your shot right away without even having to mess around.
And I'm looking, the display is actually really responsive. I don't know if we can see it in there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but you can see the display is actually, there's no lag or anything. Display working really, really well in this camera.
Right, and then if you side swipe from the right, you'll get full functionality of your settings on your camera.
Right. So you can see I just swipe to the right, and you can actually get functionality.
Yeah, we've made the control of the camera way more intuitive than it ever was before.
Right, and you can see I just pressed the power button and it started recording.
Right.
Right? And you can see when you press the power button, we'll actually video Vince.
Yeah,
and you can see it starts to record, and there's a little flashing light, which is also a very, very important feature for the camera, because sometimes when you're a little distance or you're in bright light, to be able to know that it's recording.
Right, and a new feature is they've have a quick capture mode where you can actually change the shutter button on the top to the on-off button, so it'll automatically start recording when you turn it on, rather than have to manually turn it on from the front as you did in the past.
Right, and for those of us that use these cameras out in action, like you're in a race car, you have racing gloves on or whatever, you're playing with it, you don't really have, you can't be doing very fine thing. To be able to press a button, come on, and record is a really, really fantastic thing.
And that'll maximize your battery life and your storage card as well, by being able to do it that way as well. So it's not always on.
That's correct. Right, and also, obviously we'll show this is this housing changed, or is this
the housing pretty much stays the same. That's our waterproof housing, good to 130 feet. We do have a dive housing that'll go even deeper than that.
Right.
But for most people, that's.
And here at the store, I think I can't even tell you how many hundreds of GoPro accessories we're having. It's really maybe one of the most accessorized products that we actually sell here in the store.
Oh, we sell close to 5 accessories per camera that we sell.
Is that the average actually on each camera?
This is a new arm that we have here.
That's right.
That has a tripod base built into it as well.
Right.
So, yeah, tons of accessory sales.
Right. That's a really, really fantastic item. Now, you also told me that this has a new tagging feature, correct?
Yeah, so the side button, which is the Wi-Fi button,
right.
If you hold it down,
right.
we'll turn on the Wi-Fi, and it's how it communicates with the app, and
that's right.
communicates with your remote control, so that you can preview your shots and whatnot. But if you so you hold that down to turn the Wi-Fi on and off, but if you actually just tap it as you're recording, it's a tagging feature that will now tag that video, so that when you go play it back either on the LCD screen on the back or on your app or just in your editing software, you'll be able to get right to those tag sections. And if you, the new remote, I don't have one yet, we'll have an extra button on it as well that'll be the tag button.
So that's the moment, like I'm on the racetrack, right, and I'm passing that car that's supposed to be faster than me, right, and then I just, maybe take the hand off the wheel and touch the button, so I can remember when I actually...
or if you have the remote on your dashboard, you can easily hit that.
That's right, okay.
And
that's not for you folks to try at home, as they say, right? When you're racing at high speed, both hands should be on the wheel.
And I should point out that, even in a race car setting or recording your kid's soccer game or whatever, this remote or the app will
that's right.
It'll work up to 50 cameras at one time. So if you hit that tagging feature, it'll tag all those cameras at the same time.
So if I have a bunch of these cameras mounted, I like to bring it back to my race, so I can watch the pass from multiple angles, as they say. I got it. Okay, I understand.
From what I understand, your passes don't happen that often.
That doesn't happen very often. I pick on the slow-moving cars, usually the ones that have mechanical failure. Then I can pass them when they've mechanically failed. Exactly. We actually have the GoPro HERO4 you can see running the app right now. Let me just sort of hold this up a little bit so you can kind of see in the camera. And this app obviously is available, on any iProduct. There's a GoPro app. And Android also, I'm assuming, correct. And that allows you to control the camera, and there'll be a new update, I assume, for the HERO4 when
once we start shipping, the app will launch at the same time for the HERO4.
Right. I have to tell you, the LCD screen on this for me is really, really a big deal. It really sort of brings the camera together in an all-in-one package.
Yeah, there's really no reason why this can't be your everyday video camera.
That's right. That's exactly what I was thinking. You always think of a GoPro as a specialty kind of item, but to me, the LCD on the back of this camera really changes a lot of things about the camera.
And it shoots in a resolution that's high enough for most avid users.
That's right.
12 megapixel still photos, time-lapse capability. It really does everything you could possibly need it to do. And the LCD just makes it super intuitive and simple to use as well.
That's right. All right, now let's get to the professional model.
Yeah, that'll be, that might be more for your customers.
That's right. That's right. Actually, we sell quite a bit of both, to be honest with you. We've sold, throughout when you had the color schemes, the silver, black, and so on. We've sold a lot of them. But you're right. This camera, now we're in the 4K video world.
Right.
So now we're talking 4K video at 30 frames a second.
Right.
Just so everybody knows, you will need a special memory card when you do this in order to record the 4K. You need the faster cards that Lexar makes or SanDisk makes.
Yeah,
Lexar makes a 633 card, right? That I think will actually work with this micro.
SanDisk Extreme. Essentially, the processors are bypassing what the cards are capable of. So now the cards have to catch up a little bit.
They have to be able to do that. Now, I noticed that the black model does not have an LCD, and you explain why that is, right? It has to do with the processor, right, being faster, and the battery.
Yeah, the processor on here is twice the speed of what the black was in the past. So it just takes a lot of battery, generates a lot of heat. And actually, for the pro who's using this, very often they're not holding it in their hand. They've set up a shot somewhere, so they don't really need the LCD. You can get an LCD add-on for this.
Correct.
That is the same exact LCD touch intuitiveness that you have on the silver.
Do you know if it's the same one that was available for the 3, or is it a new one?
Oh no, it's a totally new one. Way more robust. It's going to function the same way your iPhone or
but a lot of users out there, have GoPro 3s. They have the LCD. They're going to want to know right away: if I'm upgrading, do I need to actually get the new LCD? And the answer is going to be yes for that. Right.
Yes.
Right. They're going to need to get the new LCD. You know, and obviously this is the top end model for professional use. 4K video. I mean, we're in an area right here where there's 4K. People on camera can't really see it, but there's 4K video streaming over here. I mean, 4K when you are in an action mode is really special.
Right.
You know, the resolution that's afforded in 4K is a very, very special thing to see, and to have a camera that can do that this size. I mean, to me, when I sort of look at the size, it's still always a little bit shocking that all of this has been jammed into this little piece.
Yeah, and I'm sure most people watching this know 4K is here.
Right.
The TVs are coming down in price very quickly.
That's right.
So to be able to record in 4K at 30 frames per second will actually make it worthwhile to bump up $100 for the Pro version.
Right, and for those of you who have GoPros know this, but this camera also obviously will take stills. There's a menu setting that allows you to take stills on every timed interval. So while you're taking video, you can actually take stills out of the camera too. So to me, that's a really, really useful feature.
Right, absolutely.
Right.
And going back to your race car again.
Yeah, right. Or I mean, any example. I mean, if you're
right.
if you're surfing, you're skateboarding, you're just camping, you're wherever you are, out in the backyard, whatever. This camera really is an all-purpose camera for everything.
Time-lapse functionality, that's awesome. I mean, I use that almost as much as any kind of
That's
long
right.
event. Time-lapses are
right.
great.
Right, so you can do time-lapse stills on this, and that's really, an important use of the camera. They're definitely used a lot. So now the black, right, has some new modes, right? Let's talk a little bit about this. These are brand new, right?
Right. So we talked about the highlight tagging.
Right.
There's a night lapse, which is basically a time-lapse night photo setting that you can open the shutter for extended periods of time.
Right.
You got to make sure the camera is perfecally still in order to make it work right.
You mean I can just hold it? I have steady.
But
tripod,
something like a tripod base or something like that. So you're doing a night shot on a camping trip or something like that, and it's going to give you amazing exposure on that.
Right. If you can use this, is obviously a GoPro accessory, but for those of you photographers out there, the GoPro case comes with a tripod mount which goes on the bottom, and then you can mount it on any kind of standard tripod. And that night mode is going to be really wonderful for capturing night skies. You're out in the wilderness or whatever the case is, on the beach.
Right.
You want that night sky shot. You're going to be able to do that night lapse also.
And then in the Pro Tune modes, you can actually set those things manually, and those are things that the professional photographer is more likely to want to do, where they can have manual control of the color, the ISO limits, the white balance.
Right. So we're a unique photo crowd here. Obviously, we're running a camera store. We have a lot of photographers. That's one of the things for a pro to really consider a pro camera. It has to have manual control. So white balance, ISO, right, color,
sharpness, exposure.
Okay.
And then on the other end of it, when you're doing the post-production work, you have a lot more flexibility there as well if you're using the Pro Tune settings.
Right.
The Pro Tune settings is something that the amateur photographer, someone like me, probably never goes into.
Right. I think that we're sort of we're most of the way through our segment here, but the settings in the Pro camera are very important because I think it's going to open the camera up to a whole new group of people who really prefer manual control over the camera. And to be able to do that, you're really entering a professional market. So we're going to call this a GoPro Pro.
I like that.
Right.
I should point out that using the app on your phone or on your iPad enables you to do all those settings without doing it manually on the camera, and that's really the only way to set
That's
up
right. You take out your phone, you'll be able to see and adjust the camera.
You can set up your shot, preview the shots from 600 feet away. It's really pretty amazing.
To me, that's really what it's about. So just to sort of recap, new GoPro HERO4 Silver. Big feature on this, in my mind, really is the LCD screen built in on the back, the touch screen, allowing you to change modes and change settings right through the back of the camera. The instant on to record when you press the button. As you can see, it just went on to record. Right, and we have the tagging feature in this feature, which allows you to press a button and actually tag the picture. Black, right? The GoPro HERO4 Black. 4K, 30 frames a second, new modes, right?
As you said, the Pro.
This is the GoPro Pro. This is going to be a really, really exciting unit. Just to be clear on pricing, the HERO4 is going to retail for $399.
Correct.
The silver edition, and the black edition is going to be $499.
Right.
And these cameras are going to be available for purchase on October 5th, correct?
Yep.
That's right. So hopefully you're going to come in and pay us a visit here at the Unique Photo Superstore, or check us out online. We should have those available for sale on October 5th. Our salespeople here are more than knowledgeable on this product, so if you want to come in before the October 5th date and discuss it, we certainly can do that. Call us on the phone or come visit us at the store. So this is really exciting stuff, right?
It's big news.
So when's HERO5 coming out? All right, let's get through here.
They don't tell me these things.
They don't, yeah, that's above the pay grade, right, as they say. All right, everybody, you've been watching another UEventLive out there. If you want to tweet or talk about this event, just use the hashtag UEventLive. Certainly like us on Facebook at Unique Photo, Twitter at Unique Photo, Instagram at Unique Photo. If anybody wants to comment on me, tell me I should change my hairstyle or anything like that, my social media is at M Sweetwood. That's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I am pretty responsive to customers out there. Vince, thanks a lot for coming out today.
Great to be here.
We really appreciate you bringing these wonderful cameras, these wonderful new GoPro HERO4 cameras to the store, and we look forward to selling a lot of them. I think this is going to be a really, really big hit.
Great.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you for the next UEventLive.